Hello, and good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to FAE News Network. I'm your host, Fairy Princess Lolly, and I am here tonight with Ion the Leprechaun. Okay, Ion, hello. famous Dana the Boggin.
Hi.
And Baron Gunther Hammerhands.
Hello.
And Count Morbid. Yeah, he's very thrilled to be here. So thank you guys, for tuning in. And, we've been gone for a couple of weeks. To get those obligatory things out of the way, please hit the like and subscribe button and share everywhere. We would love that. And hello, I see you out there in the audience, Cobble. Hello. So we have been gone for a couple of weeks, and a crazy couple of weeks is probably an understatement for it. But for those of you who have been following along at home, I guess that part of what has been going on with that is a whole bunch of things surrounding the attempted acquisition of property in the human realm for Dreamhaven, which sadly has not gone as well as we had hoped, but better than last time. Been gone for a couple of weeks. Would you like who would like to give the summary of this? Well, I know Ion, Gunther, do either of you guys want to give the summary of this?
There was
That
a
way I
mighty
can
duel.
All right, Ion. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna let you do that because I kind of want to spare my voice a little bit tonight, since I had a in the middle of the night because I fell asleep right in front of the wind, and it dried my throat out, and then I ended up waking up talking, and it was a thing. So, okay, go ahead, Ion. All you.
All right. So when last we left our intrepid heroes,
Hello, intrepid.
we were yes, we were seeking to get funding from from some sort of dragon horde, and we got approved for funding from such a thing, and then we put in a bid on the one that we were talking about over there, not too far from. Well, at any rate, we made an offer, and then they thought about it, and they thought about it some more, and then they went with someone else's offer.
Yes. So as far as we know, that is where the things stand. I guess there are other steps still in between the accepting of a thing and the finalization of the thing. Yes? What? Gunther? I can't hear you at all.
Huh?
Are you saying anything? Were you saying something? Is that a yes or no?
Yeah, I was saying that was even after you wrote them a letter.
Oh, yes. Okay. I'm sorry. Like, I totally couldn't hear anything you were saying, so I didn't even know if you were trying. Yes. So we wrote them a letter, but it was not persuasive enough, I guess, or perhaps not more persuasive than the almighty dollar from the human money tree. Not
Could be that
entirely
they just
sure.
didn't read it.
It could also be that too. I guess I wouldn't be surprised. So, I feel so cynical right now, but I guess that now they're in something called an inspection phase, and that is that. So hypothetically, it could still somehow fall through entirely. Where'd Gunther go? Uh-oh. I hope he's not having problems in there. Oh, we still have not got that bug worked out, but it's its own thing. So that was a big thing that just consumed our time for many, many days, pretty much about two weeks. But also, we spent a great deal of time over the last week down at one of the sites where, oh, there he is. I see him. Hold on, let me bring him back in. There you go. Where'd you go? You disappeared.
The webs. The spiders got me again.
The spiders got you again? Okay. Yes, so what was I saying? I was saying, oh yes, we were beautifying one of our FAE Hollow locations where we manifest in the human world and enlargening it for next year. So that was a thing, and we did that for a weekend, and then we stopped in to see our friend Baroness Gale and visited her for several days. So it's been a very busy couple of weeks, but I think we're glad to be back with you guys.
During that time, Fairy Princess Lolly tried to drown me in a radioactive lake.
What? I did not try to drown you. I was trying to teach you how to back float.
You were trying to stick my head under the water and make me have 3 eyes. I was there. I saw the whole thing. And then it was in this county, even.
Baroness Gale tells us that if you swim in a river called the Willamette, that you are bound to grow a 3rd eye or a horn out of the side of your head. Apparently, the humans have not kept this water very clean, but we didn't know that, so we waded right in.
It's not just the humans. There's this algae that grows in that particular river that just proliferates and flowers and gets all huge, and you can like get lost in the algae.
What? Is that even possible?
Yes.
Remember when I looked at you and I said that water doesn't look sanitary?
No, I don't. All I remember is you for days wanting to go, I want to go swimming in that water the next day. I really want to go swimming in that water the next day. I really, really want to go swimming in that water.
It wasn't that specific water. It was water in general. Like, I want to go swimming and they won't let me. Nobody
every year, every year when the blooming time comes, they have issues up in the capital city of too much blooms in the water, and they'll have people not drink the water.
You mean
I wouldn't want to drink it, probably no matter what. So
they have buildings that make the water better, but yeah.
That makes me feel somewhat better, I guess. I don't know. So I guess if I grow a 3rd head and whatever and try to change my name to Beaselbrox, then you guys will know that I've swam one too many times in the river.
First off,
isn't that a 2nd head?
Before you grow a 3rd head.
I'm actually impressed that you got my reference, Count Morbid. I mean,
does it have to be
well, 1, I got the reference. 2, I can count. Because like you skipped past the 2nd head. You went from 1 head to 3 heads.
Well, right, because if I tried to tame, if I was Beaselbrox, whose first name I can't remember, but if
Zaphod.
I was what? Anyway,
it's something like Zaphod.
If I was that person, I would have to grow a 3rd head to have an extra head. Because they already had 2. Tip their head.
The whole time you guys were describing this, I was thinking of bioluminescent algae and how freaky that looks.
Why does it look freaky? It sounds very pretty to me.
Well, because it
pretty and
glows.
Freaky are not mutually exclusive concepts.
No.
This is true.
I suppose there's some legitimacy there. So, oh man. So that because of all of the stuff, man, we're back on the hunt though. We're trying to keep up with the hunt, looking for places for Dreamhaven because obviously this place went to someone else. So we are back on at kind of a not quite square one, but looking for places. We have a couple places that we think we're going to try to line up to go out and see here in the next couple weeks. We hope that look perhaps promising. So
2.5 is where we're at, really.
Wait, what?
We're at square 2.5, really.
It is kind of like square 2.5.
I really think that we shouldn't do any more math or numbers on this show, at least tonight. Numbers and math are bad.
You mean ever since the head thing, it's all gone downhill?
I mean, that's kind of legit.
I want to say there was something before the heads, but
oh boy. So
it's not surprising that Count Morbid would be obsessed with the numbers. Count.
I don't even know what I feel. I don't even know what.
I wish I could do the Count Von Count song from memory, but I cannot.
Wait, you wish you could do the what?
Count Von Count.
Count Von Count. What song is this?
Well, it's the counting song by The Count.
But how does it kind of go?
1, 2.
One moment.
3.
Is
Wait,
there a way that I can find this counting song?
I believe that's what
Sesame
Morbid is
Street
trying to do.
counting song would be a good start online.
Let's see. Okay, I might try to find this.
I
I
just
don't
know the
even-
marbles one that goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
No, that's the electric company.
I know. It's like different.
They're like all
counting.
the same.
No. Not when they're being plucked like with the hands.
Let's see here. So okay, I'm looking up the Count von. Oh, a sneeze. Oh,
Oh no! Oh no! Not a sneeze!
yeah. Oh man, I'm so sorry. Whew. Okay, that's the worst. Okay, I'm making a complete disaster over here. Whew. Okay, I was trying to type something and then it turned into sneeze land.
I think it's called Song of the Count.
Really?
Microphone lolly.
Are you just saying that?
No.
No, I'm not. It's
Oh,
called
you did
Song
just
of
say
the
it.
Count.
Song of the Count. Okay, I'm gonna see.
Street Song of the Count. On account of it's the Count song.
Okay, hold on. I don't even know what you're talking about. So it's a.
Yeah,
I have
it's all kind of in the title.
I put 1, 2, 3. It's a. Let's see. I have a numbers counting. No, I have a count 1, 2, 3 counting song for kids.
It's just literally under YouTube called Sesame Street Song of the Count.
Okay, I'm trying. Don't get snatty with me. Here we go. Apparently it didn't like that I put 1, 2, 3 first. Let's see here. Okay, now I'm gonna now I'm gonna try this. And okay, you guys can see this. Okay, here we go.
You'll know that I am called the Count. Love Count. Sometimes I stutter, sometimes I get carried away.
I am afraid to run afoul of copyright things, so I'm kind of skipping around a little bit because I think I can only play it in like 10 or 15 second increments. But
I count slowly, counting, it's very hard to stop.
wow,
Faster, so excited.
does he actually count numbers anywhere?
I mean, it's a count. So yeah.
Second verse or chorus or something?
Well, he's singing about how much he likes the count.
Wow, I really do not know that at all. Like I mean zero idea. But I guess that's why I can't count. That's why I can't count my heads, even though there's only one. So because we were away, we did not have the opportunity, really the means to let me get us all in begin. We didn't really have the means to get our weekly vendor for drawing. So we don't have a vendor interview tonight, but I do have a cool giveaway. So and I'm going to show it to you because Gunther and I have been on an enormous rearrangement streak. And this is one of the things that I found, and I couldn't believe it because it's so cool. So I'm actually excited to have it for a giveaway. So this is what I'm going to do because I don't want to leave you guys with no giveaway, even though we don't have an artist for this week. But we do have an artist for next week. So we'll be back to normal on that, and I'm not going to spoil that surprise. But for this here, I'm going to make this in big so you guys can see a little bit better. So here is what I've got. It's this little necklace. And as you can see, it's like a sterling silver seashell. And in it is here, there we go. That's better. Now I can show you. In it is a little pearl. It's a freshwater pearl. And this came right out of a real oyster. It was a vendor giveaway ages ago, and nobody, when we did the drawing, nobody claimed it, so I still have it. So if you take this off here, you can actually open it up and you can put different things inside. You can see this seashell has a little hinge right there, and you can put different things inside of it. Right now it's a freshwater pearl, but since the original winner of this had never claimed it, it just stayed in my possession, and I still have it. And so now I shall use it for this week's giveaway. And then next week we will be back to having our regular artist. And if you want to see, I'm pretty sure that I have either an unboxing or a review video that's in one of our playlists here. And you can look at the unboxing, the cracking open of this oyster shell on that unboxing video, because I did the whole thing live. It was actually really cool, like a real mermaid pearl. Ooh.
So what word should people put into the comments if they in fact want to win this seashell with a pearl?
I feel a flashback to the last time we were talking about tongue twisters, the seashell. Seafoam. Well, this week's magic word from Handmade Home Shopping on Sunday was apple. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and go with the magic word apple. If you would like to enter to win the cool seashell with the pearl in it, that is what you should put in. I will actually just put that on a little banner here. Magic word for the seashell and pearl necklace is going to be apple. This should go in the comments after the show, not in the live comments during the show. There we go.
See, you missed the opportunity to just make it be a thing where they have to figure out where Sally sells the seashells.
How did I miss that opportunity? What would you have
could
done?
just have them. Well, that's what they have to do. They have to put in the comments where Sally sells the seashells.
Down by the sea. I mean, I could have, but yes, you're right. It was a missed opportunity. You should have said that before.
The answer is Etsy.
Okay. Yes, it is. That's true.
You know, I want something for Etsy, like we have the land of Amazon and the Bay of E. But
it's Aunt Etsy.
Aunt Etsy.
I have an Aunt Etsy.
Aunt Etsy, that could be promising.
Etsy Betsy Spider.
Etsy Betsy Spider. I went to the Etsy Betsy Spider to go buy things.
It sounds like a bar, actually.
I mean, does it?
A
little bit. All right. Well, I guess then there's that.
It could almost be a punk band.
Well, no,
Etsy
you would
Betsy.
just say Etsy. You would say Etsy shop, but you would pronounce it with SHOPPE. So you're saying Etsy shop instead of Etsy shop.
I don't like it.
What?
He's trying to play with words.
I'm so confused right now. Okay. So I was going to go then to our weird news today, because it seems like in our absence, we have had an enormous amount of weird news.
I mean, that's true.
Did you see I shared in our Book of Faces chat a picture of some bioluminescence algae?
Well, I did see that. I don't understand why you shared it.
I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I know what it looks like, I guess. I've seen bioluminescence before. Did you want me to show it?
You don't have to.
That wasn't.
We were talking about
algae.
algae.
My question was not, am I capable of showing it? That is not the question that I asked.
Are you?
Maybe. I mean, it's hard to say today because, quite frankly, I can't even count my heads past 2. So I'm so
Well,
confused.
the picture I sent happened to be someone wading through water that was algae with bioluminescence, so it was appropriate to your wading story. But it's fine. Whatever.
I can't tell if your feelings are hurt or not.
I'm not.
Well, okay, so there are a whole lot of there are a whole lot of articles here, Gunther.
I'm sorry. We also have gossip apparently.
Okay. Articles and okay. Well, what do you want to look at first? Articles or gossip?
Go ahead and do the articles, and I'll tell you the gossip after. I can say the gossip if you want.
Okay. I will. I'm looking at the titles to see. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gosh, there's so many, and I have to pick 2 of them for you guys to choose between. Let's see. We have a living. This sounds kind of cool. What? Okay. Texas is now battling an infestation of ROUS swamp rats. What?
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds hilarious and awesome. And I have an ROUS. Let's see. And
there's the ROUS right there with Ion.
okay. I guess if we're going to go with some cryptozoology with ROUSs. What?
What about GOUS?
What is a GOUS?
Goat?
Gunthers of unusual size.
Well, that's normal.
I mean, if all the Gunthers are that size, is it unusual or is it normal?
I mean, unusual is short, I think.
I feel like this is a very worthy question. There's a fuzz or something and a buzz. I don't know. Something is.
It's true. If all Gunthers are the same size, then none of them are Gunthers of unusual size.
The Gunther of the unusual.
I don't think Gunther is a standardized unit of measurement, though. I don't think there's a Gunther standardized size.
Okay, but if that's...
I don't think all Gunthers come in the exact same size.
Okay, but if that's true, okay, then how can the word giant have any meaning? If there is no general understanding of like the size of unit, like for say, if we were going to say a Gunther is a unit, right? That would mean that we're
Gunther is indeed an absolute unit. Yeah,
that is true. Yes, that is true.
But giant isn't an absolute unit, but you still understand what it means relative to something else.
But giant means it's big for whatever it is you're talking about. It's a
and I'm saying if all Gunthers are the same size, then there's no comparison between Gunthers. A Gunther may be large compared to something else, but not other Gunthers unless all Gunthers are the exact same size. So for example, it would have to be a Gunther of unusual size if there was an outlier.
I think it'd be short. That's all I'm saying.
If it's an unusual size Gunther, it means it's short. Is that
That's
what
right?
you're
That is very unusual.
Gunther of unusual size is small.
we have discussed a unit of measure of clothing for Gunther. We have to say it's Gunther sized.
Yeah, it's like 10 pounds.
So a Gunther of unusual size would be like travel sized, like pocket sized.
Yeah, that's
right.
Convenient trial sample size of Gunther.
You could just hang him off of your pocket with a single horn, just like put
a keychain.
Yes, exactly.
That would be an unusual size.
The Gunther of unusual size is basically a favor that you hang on your thing. Yeah?
Like this big. He'll be this big. He'll be squinky sized. Okay, so here are the 2 articles. So the next article I think we should put the vote between will be Where'd the title go? Here we go. Could this be the latest sighting of the Loch Ness Monster? So if you want to hear about the latest sighting of the Loch Ness Monster, press number 1. If you want to hear about ROUSs in Texas, press number 2. So I see you have already voted for the Loch Ness Monster. Hello, Keisha. We're taking our vote here for the seat. Yes, there is the hourglass. Now you have this long to put your vote in. So if you would like to hear about the Loch Ness Monster, the latest Loch Ness Monster sighting, press number 1. If you would like to hear about rodents of unusual size, I don't believe they exist in Texas, press number 2. We have 1 vote thus far. Are you guys really going to let Count Morbid win?
Exists.
But Texas believes that ROUSs exist.
Yes, but I don't believe in Texas.
Ooh.
So if you don't believe
sure
in Texas, does that mean the ROUS, like, where does that mean they are? Exactly.
Mexico.
Well, the people in Texas might not believe in morbids. So
I think what really matters, though, is does Count Morbid believe in you?
Count Morbid doesn't believe in anybody. We're all in his imagination.
Okay, we have 2 votes for the Loch Ness Monster. And we're almost going. Okay, we have 2 votes for the Loch Ness Monster, 3 votes for the Loch Ness Monster, and 1 vote for rodents, which is the ROUSs. So
that's unfortunate for the ROUSs, isn't it?
Oh, did the timer run out?
Probably.
Okay, then I guess Loch Ness Monster it is. So here we go. I'm curious to read both of these, to be perfectly honest. Let's see here.
There's a lot of insane articles this week. I'm sorry.
I like it when there's a lot of articles. I just when there isn't any, it always reminds me of one particular John Stewart. So, okay, let's see. Here we go. Could this be the latest? Go away, weird ad. Could this be the latest sighting of the Loch Ness Monster? So here we have the picture. I wonder if I can actually make this bigger.
Spoiler, the answer is no.
What do you mean no? Why is it a no?
Because he wants you to read the other one.
Okay. A photograph of Loch Ness has got people excited that it could show the elusive Nessie. It shows the back of an animal in the water with the image too far away to tell if it is scaly or otherwise. If it is a fish, it must be a very large one. I mean, it must be. Let's see. The photographer himself is skeptical that it offers proof of a Loch Ness monster. Offers proof that a Loch Ness. Oh my gosh, words! That a Loch Ness monster lurks. Clearly, I need to go back to doing the tongue twister practice that we had from a few weeks ago. Because
how much lock could a Loch Ness lock if a Loch Ness could Loch Ness?
I don't know.
How much locks would a Loch Ness eat?
You've already messed up the rhyme scheme.
Dang it! Well, dang it. And there we are. Okay, so let's see. Yes. Steve Chalice of Southampton. Oh, wow. Is that a blown up version of that picture? Why did you scroll so fast? Stop. Come back here. Okay, Steve Chalice of Southampton took the picture last September and recently posted it on Facebook. He asked for help identifying the animal, saying, I started taking a couple of shots, and then this big fish came to the surface and then went back down again. Oh, okay. It does look very large for a fish. I mean, it does. That's totally true. According to the Inverness Courier, I like the word Inverness. It kind of has a Lovecraftian feel. Anywho, he thought it was a catfish at first and estimated that it was 30 feet away and about 8 feet long. But others responding said they had ID'd it as Nessie swimming near Urquhart Castle. Mr. Chalice said it only appeared in one shot, and to be honest, that was something of a fluke. I watched for a while, as you can see from the last picture, but it didn't happen again. He said that it had taken him a while to post it, and he had found time to go through the picture found time to go through the pictures because of the lockdown. I have to say, I don't believe in the Loch Ness Monster, and frankly, I think if anything is there, then there is a logical explanation for most of the sightings.
Lockdown or Loch Ness down or lockdown Ness?
I think it should be the Loch Ness down.
It sounds like if it's a Loch Ness down, it sounds like it's a Loch Ness racing track. It's you know what I'm saying?
I mean, but what if that's just like one of the humps or something on it? But see, look.
It does sound like a cryptid racetrack. Yes, or like a cryptid race.
Yeah, like Bigfoot might be running across the water to beat it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so here's the original picture right here, though. But if you look kind of right there in the original picture, and you come down here to the blown up picture, is that just a shadow on the water, or is that like one of its flapper fins that Nessie is supposed to have?
I think catfish have those type of side fins too.
That's a little large for a catfish. An 8
No
foot
human being could stack books like this.
Catfish is a bottom feeder, so it'll eat anything and everything, and you give it a big enough lake, it'll get as big as it possibly can.
Really?
She's not wrong. Yeah, she's not wrong. They get big.
Like koi, they get huge.
I thought that Loch Ness was so deep they hadn't gone to the bottom of it.
Oh yeah, they have.
That's a big lake.
They just can't see anything down there because of all the algae and other rubbish down there.
You mean algae?
I said algae.
I thought you said
rubbish.
allergy.
Oh.
I mean, you could have allergies to algae.
I suppose you could. Okay.
Do you light up like your luminescent if you have an allergy?
I don't know.
algae?
Maybe I just
Only
want.
if it's in the willamette. If you get radioactive.
Maybe I just want to believe because I love the Loch Ness Monster and Nessie is adorable, and I just this article title. Like what?
Okay, so hold on. Before we continue, speaking of adorable things, Fairy Princess Dolly has something else she has found adorable.
It's not another cat, is it?
No, it's not a cat. Can you guess what it is?
Look, I don't want to talk about me right now.
No, she doesn't think you're adorable. She thinks you're pretty. It's different.
No. He is talking about Baby Yoda.
You have become obsessed with having a Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda has put a force spell upon me, and it is the droid I'm looking for.
It's not a droid. It's a thingy with a force.
Okay, I don't even know what to pick. There's so many good articles. Okay, here we go.
That was a really big fish, Morbid.
That was a big fish, Morbid. Where did you catch that?
You're muted.
You're muted, Morbid. Unmute,
We can't
Morbid.
hear you, Morbid.
Look at that fish. Holy cow.
I don't know. What are you guys even talking about? I don't see a fish.
He held up his screen thing to the screen and showed us a fish, but now we can't hear him talk about it.
Because he's on mute. Yeah. Wow.
Oh, that was a pretty big mouth of a fish.
Is that a catfish yet?
That's a catfish.
Yeah.
Those are people. Oh my gosh. I had no idea that, underwater life is a little scary.
But they have been reported being like 9 feet long.
Yeah, it's a bottom feeder too, so it won't actually eat you unless you're on the bottom. However, that would be a massive town catfish fry off that catfish alone.
Oh yeah. I mean, I like catfish fries.
I like
there are some catfish records.
That is enormous.
That's what
you said.
Damn it.
Okay, I just don't know what to do with some of these articles this week. They're so crazy.
Traditionally speaking, I think one reads them.
So I got to say this: the articles, part of the articles collection we got this week was thanks to Dark Merlin's Dungeon and Ivy. She submitted a lot of those to me.
Dark Merlin's Dungeon. Thank you, Dark Merlin's Dungeon, for sending us many articles. For they are hilarious and awesome. So here's our next choice. The next two articles to choose between. Uh-oh. Stop it, mouse. Quit doing the thing.
Quit working. Oh, wait. It already did.
No. Okay, here we go. No, it's being ridiculous. Here we go. So, Newton's recipe for toad vomit lozenges is up for auction. That is article number 1. Versus article number 2. You swine. German nudist chases wild boar that stole laptop.
I mean,
I think I said that one.
yeah, that was one of yours, I think.
I obviously had a lot of strange animal stories.
You sent like 6 of them into us, and I was like, holy Christ.
Okay, if you want to hear about number 1, which is Newton's toad vomit lozenge recipe, which is up for auction, press number 1. Ion, if you could start the timer, please. And if you would like to hear about article number 2, which is German nudist who chases wild boar that stole the laptop, then press number 2. Number 1 is for the toad vomit lozenges, and number 2 is for the naked man chases wild boar with laptop.
I have there's no reason or rhyme to any of this nonsense.
Wait, where'd Count Morbid go?
Are we allowed to show pictures of that?
Well,
No.
yes, because there's nothing that's actually showing.
Oh, well, that's positive to hear.
Allegedly.
Otherwise, I would not show it. So,
Clearly the board needed to be entertained.
So we have 2 votes for number 2, which is the wild boar. 2 votes for number. If you want to hear about the toad vomit lozenges, from Isaac Newton, then press number 1. And if you want to hear about the naked man chasing wild boars, press number 2. Wild boars with laptops. Oh man.
How else can they play Tetris?
It sounds like Greenwood.
There it goes into the last. We have 2 votes for 2 and no votes for number 1. Well, okay.
Naked pigs it is.
What?
I can't even complain about this.
Okay.
As a quick aside, what do we think the price for this formula for frog vomit lozenge might be?
I have no idea. If we look at it, then we should guess then. And let me read this article.
I wonder if he's trying to put it up for auction. That's all I'm saying.
It's already up for auction. Okay. Photographer who captured a moment of that a naked bather gave pursuit says he gave it his all. So when he returned from the forest, everyone applauded him. The nudist chased the boar and a yellow bag containing his laptop into the undergrowth near Berlin's, oh boy, Tufelsee?
Tufelsee.
I don't know. A nudist bather who chased a wild boar near a Berlin lake after it stole his laptop was applauded by onlookers after successful pursuit. So he got it back. Whoa. Let's see. The photographer who captured the drama said the unidentified nudist was happy for her to share the images, which show him in a bare-bottomed pursuit of the boar and her 2 piglets while fellow bathers look on in amusement.
Was this on the nudist beach then?
I don't know, but I am just trying to imagine where was this guy in relation to his laptop that a boar wandered up to him and just kind of made off with his. And is that a box around its feet? What's happening right here? Did it step in a box and get stuck?
I suspect that these boars are used to stealing food and that they know that they're usually in, baskets.
I was more or less
basically, roll the dice.
I was more or less thinking that there's just a bunch of boars around here, and these people are like hanging out with boars on a nudist beach.
Oh, but you know what? I know what it was.
They have tusks.
Nature Strikes Back, wrote Adele Landauer, a personal coach on Facebook. I showed the man the photos. He laughed heartily and gave me permission to make them public. The man was sunbathing naked at the something, I guess that's the lake, the Teufelsee in West Berlin, a popular and perfectly legal practice in the German capital as part of what is known as, freie Perkultur, free body culture.
So we have that.
I think I know why the boar stole the laptop.
Oh, whoa, what's happening here? Why did the boar steal the laptop? Is this like, I
This
feel
is a
like
bad joke. Don't do it.
bad joke.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I think the boar stole the laptop because it was an apple.
Oh, that was terrible.
What's that?
That took me a minute. I was like, wait, what? Oh, that was terrible. Okay, wild boars. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Gunther.
Wild
I'm
boars.
just saying. I gotta ask Famous Dana something in this, right? Famous Dana, in our great barony of Wolfgard, there, yeah. You're allowed to go naked and swim it whenever you want, right?
Unless it's posted.
Unless it's otherwise posted.
Yeah, like over there in the river, they actually have a sign that says, "No nude."
No
Beating.
nude.
It's like
No
you've never
nude
seen a
beating.
boar with an apple in its mouth before.
So that tells you right there that we have to put a sign up because people do it so often in Ulfgard. Or do we have boars there too?
Well, I guess I'm just wondering who had wild boar with laptop being chased by nudists on their bingo card for 2020.
That is on my card every year.
No, I actually think
you had a
August
personal
was
experience when you were
explosion.
young. Did you have a personal experience with boars when you were young, Count Morbid, to cause this?
I don't want to talk about it.
I did roast one once.
I've got many
Did it have an apple in
experience
its
with
mouth?
a lot of big
Actually, it
boars.
was a
But I
lemon.
don't think I'm talking about animals.
I think the apple in its mouth joke is just funny. I don't know why.
I actually cooked the whole thing with a citrus theme and sliced lemons, and I had a half a lemon in its mouth when I roasted it.
No, I actually hate apple.
The boar's flight was slowed by a cardboard box in its path. The man
was a
clapped
cardboard
his
box.
hands and hit the ground with the stick, prompting the boar to drop the laptop. Another witness said when he returned from the forest,
that was a stick.
everyone applauded him. Derek Earlhart, Berlin's ombudsman for wild animals, what? Told local media that such incidents had become increasingly common and that foxes had also become regular. But foxes are so cute. So Pumbaa takes off with a dude's apple. Let's see. We urge people not to panic in such a case. We have so far had no injuries. The animals are quite used to humans.
Okay, so because you put out the cardboard thing, I have to have something for you right there. Okay.
Wait, what?
Is the ombudsman for animals a boarister?
No.
Sorry.
I don't get that.
No.
A barrister? Like, is that the word that you're making?
A barrister's for bears.
A barrister's for bears.
Lolly, I
Yes.
need you to do something. Okay. I want
Okay.
you to look at your articles, right?
Yes.
Okay, now I want you to make sure you go to the very top of the article, scroll up, and you see the fifth one down that says sad and useless. Yeah?
1, 2, 3, 4, 20. Because
5.
today I can't count. Let's see. The fifth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh,
Yeah.
sad and useless. That's the URL. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Open that up and share that with people. It's not actual words. It's pictures.
Pictures.
It's pictures. Okay. And you show that. Yes, show that.
These are so cool.
I do think.
Man. Okay, hold on. I will.
You have piqued my curiosity.
No, it's a thing. It's because the boars and the cardboard.
Speaking of boars, right? Speaking of boars, bored quarantined owners have started building cardboard forts for cats. And
Cat hotels.
that is more than a cat hotel. Look at that. And that's a pretty cat too.
So I actually have a gossip thing I wanted to tell you about, Fairy Princess Lolly.
Uh-oh. What's your gossip?
So apparently there's actually a question out there that says, are these, in fact, all of Fairy Princess Soli's cats and their forks in this article? And does she keep them like this to keep the kingdom in line? And that was sent in by Shelley the Soldier, the cat puka.
Yes, this is how I control the cats. What? No, it isn't. Quit trying to stir up terrible gossip. Everyone in the world, even the Fae, know that you cannot control cats.
No, this is from a cat puka asking the questions. That's all I'm saying. But this seems like a valid way to use cardboard to keep back boars. Just saying.
Oh man, these Fort Dingo, that must be the cat's name. Look at that cat. His face is like, I know you're taking a picture of me.
It's a thing. What? Silky? How'd you get in this? That's Silky.
No, that's not Silky.
This is what people do when they have to work from home and are bored. That one especially.
Hissing move.
The one above that's what I was saying.
I sort of want to try this and see whether or not the cats like it. If I do, though, the question is
Shiz meow.
meow. What theme do I make a kitty condo in?
I mean, is it really going to take you that long to think of that? Because you were pretty good at themes and get stuck on mushrooms a lot.
I'm not saying I will do it, but I do have a lot of boxes.
There's tons of boxes in the workshop. Yeah.
This is a cathedral, and this is like a castle. So many cat castles. Oh, those little kitties, little kittens. Kitty village.
As you can tell, like I said, this is not an article. This is just something for us to pause and take in and go, and see, me and Count Morbid are dog people, and we're not even concerned. Like Count Morbid's like, what? No. Like, okay, Count Morbid, you're not a dog.
No. I don't actually like anything or anyone. I'm a nothing.
So that's why you have a husky. That makes sense, actually.
She's not a husky and she's not mine.
Oh, well, that's fair then too. She looks like a husky. It's a German Shepherd or something in there.
You look like.
I mean, that's true. That's true too. That's fair.
Okay, so next articles. Let's see
Next
here.
article, where we go?
Well, okay, so Ion asked the question before the last article of what price. So here, we're going to do the Isaac Newton one because I just think that
Ion needs some representation.
Well,
there's a question that goes to the Isaac Newton one. But go ahead. I'll let you know after you read the article.
Okay, so here's the Isaac Newton one, and let's see. I just want to come over here, do this, take this away. Yay. Okay, so Newton's recipe for toad vomit lozenges is up for auction. And I think your question, Ion, was, correct me if I'm wrong, is how much do we think that this recipe will go for? Is that the question?
Indeed it is. Indeed it is.
So how much do you think it would go for?
350.
350 or 350,000?
350. That's all I got in my wallet. That's how much I'd sell for it.
Sir Isaac Newton, famous for developing the 3 laws of motion and advancing calculus, apparently had a far-out idea for how to treat the plague, also called the Black Death, toad vomit lozenges.
So I would wager that the price is going to be at least 20 grand.
At least $20,000. In addition to recommending a number of gemstone amulets against the plague. He gave detailed instructions on how to make the putrid toad vomit treatment. I mean, of all the things, if you were going to imbibe toad vomit as some kind of a treatment, why would you want it in the form of a lozenge that you basically have to dissolve with your mouth over a long period of time? That sounds so disgusting. It's just like prolonging the torture. Oh my gosh, gross. You can't just swill it down really fast. You have to sit there and suck on your lozenge for an hour while it melts in your mouth. In addition to recommending a number of gemstone amulets against the plague, yes, we read that part already. Let's see.
To be fair, probably all food back then tasted awful.
I mean, you might not be wrong about that. But Ion is kind of an expert on such things.
There's a question with this for Ion. It says, could you just bypass the lozenges, in fact, and just nick a toad to get rid of the Black Death?
Ion is an expert on toad sucking? On toad vomit sucking? Like what exactly is he an expert on here?
On old food, like medieval, like Elizabethan old food. He likes to watch and do recipes and stuff that are
old food. So not the food that's old in the fridge that has the yellow things that you call a science project going on it. Yeah.
So there with regards to the food business, it depends on your socioeconomic class on what types of food you could be eating at that time. And Newton wasn't poor.
So here we go. Newton describes in detail how to suspend a toad by its legs in a chimney for 3 days until it vomits up earth with various insects in it. The vomit must be caught in a dish of yellow wax. It's so
gross.
Specific,
yes.
It's like as if a red cap is writing this.
After the toad dies, its body should be turned into powder, mixed with the vomit and a serum, and made into lozenges and worn about the. So why would you make it into a lozenge and then wear it?
No. My question is, why do you have to get it to puke first? The stuff's already inside it. Just ground the sucker up, put it in the lozenge, and suck it down. Be a toad sucker. Step it up, my friend.
I don't know. Baby Yoda likes to eat toads. This treatment would drive away. This treatment would drive away the contagion and draw out the poison, Newton wrote. The toad treatment was best, but if someone was in a pinch, then amulets made out of the gemstones of hyacinth, sapphire, or amber could also serve as antidotes, he wrote. I mean, that doesn't even sound like things that would be comparable. Why wouldn't you just skip to, you know what, I'm in a pinch, let's go with the amulets, right? If they both work, why would you go with toad vomit? I really feel like this toad vomit thing is sort of like when the whole thing, when you stub your toe and your toe hurts, and so it's like, okay, well, smash your finger, that way your toe will stop hurting. That's what I feel like is happening, right? Oh, do you
actually watched you do that?
Some toad vomit, and you will not have the plague anymore.
Hang on. I've actually seen you do this though. It's so you tell us, because I've actually watched you stub your toe in a bumper ball and then try to smash your hands to catch yourself from falling and end up in a lot of pain, so you can ignore the other one. Or is that just being a klutz?
No, I mean, I have done that, but it wasn't exactly on purpose. I mean, that's
okay, I want to make sure I understand.
my toe, and then ow, my hand. So
yeah.
Isaac Newton was a little obsessed with the ideas that ancient Greeks knew more than they possibly could, and probably has taken this idea from them.
So Newton and his contemporaries didn't know that the plague doesn't respond to toad vomit or gems.
That's shocking.
It's kind of funny because I feel as though I feel as though if you wanted to have your sort of miracle remedy section at the Ren Fair and
Food
sell
poisoning
miracle
is a good
remedies,
way.
you could have toad vomit lozenges as one of your miracle remedies for the plague at the time, because it's actually relevant, I guess. I mean, maybe a
Or
little after the Renaissance, but whatever, you know.
I have a theory for this, Fairy Princess Audie.
Yes.
That Isaac Newton was so intelligent that he wanted to make sure idiocracy did not happen, that he made up this formula to make sure that all the idiots got food poisoning and was washed away.
Is that what?
I don't know. Newton did have some crazy. There were some things about Newton. I think
there's crazy. I think honestly, my honest opinion, anybody that's that brilliant has some nuances to them. I mean, just saying. I mean, look at Ion himself. He's a brilliant guy. Got some nuances. Like, he's always pocketing money. I don't know about this guy, you know?
something about alchemy, gold, pots of gold, leprechauns.
Right.
I don't even know.
That reminds me, there is a question for Ion, and revolving that. Hang on, I'll get it real quick. It is.
Newton and his contemporaries. Okay, yes, it wasn't until 1894 that the French-Swiss scientist Alexandre Yersin learned that the disease is caused by a bacterium, which was later named Yersinia pestis in his honor. These days, plague is treated with antibiotics, not vomit from toads that were hung upside down in the chimney, and then their stuff is collected in a bowl made of yellow wax. Yes, okay. On a somewhat related note, if you want to see a toad throw up, here's a video.
I'm good. I'm all right. Thanks for playing along.
I want to see the toad vomit.
No.
I'm just going to bring up for a second. Remember in the book / movie, the Water of Life from Dune? It's a very similar concept.
I remember the Waters of Mars in Doctor Who.
Let's see.
In Dune, they would drown the giant sandworms, and then they would vomit up this elixir that they used for.
Whoa, you are wrong, Ion. Check this out. The bidding is currently at $65,000.
Wow.
Didn't you say 20,000?
I said at least 20,000.
Oh,
so
God.
to be fair, he still won on the Price is Right because he's the closest without going over.
Oh my gosh. Well, nobody else said anything, so yeah.
So there was a question for Ion though.
Oh, there was in the audience? Did I miss it?
No, it's a gossip thing. There's a question now.
Oh, there is?
Yeah. You want to hear it?
I'm looking. Let's see.
You got to hit responses and then look in there.
What?
You want me to read it?
True
Do you want me to read it?
that Ion, in fact, made first contact?
That's one of them, but that's not the one. But I mean, I hear that. I mean, he could tell you yes or no.
First contact with what?
I mean,
is this
Fair.
it? I heard Ion the Leprechaun has a secret illegal duck racing gambling scam. And that's where he gets all of his gold to fund his own space exploration project. And in fact, has an alternate identity that is well known to be Elon Musk.
is this true?
Ion, I swear to God, I'm not the one who said anything. None of this came from me. I swear to you, none of this came from me.
I don't know for sure if the ducks are illegal.
Oh, this is why we can't have nice things.
Again, none of this passed through my lips. This is not. I did not say anything.
He did not give you away. That's all he's saying.
What?
I had no idea.
Oh
There we
no.
What
So
is our bidding at? How can we find out what the bidding is on this?
Okay, let's look
Books and
it up.
manuscripts.
Here, I'll look it up real quick. Newton's lozenge.
Plague.
Well, I got to Bonham's. Let's see, which is where it's being sold the auction house. It sold. So it ended on June 10th, 2020. So this is
2 months ago. Yeah.
It sold for $81,325.
Man, you could buy a small, manufactured house for that much.
Oh my gosh. That is absolutely crazy.
Or a
sundial he carved as a child went for more than 20 grand. So
are you telling me there's a bunch of Isaac Newton fanboys? Is that what you're saying?
Well, he
You're not one?
pretty
I'm not saying he's not brilliant. I'm saying fanboys.
I mean, he invented the kind of telescope that's used most often.
Okay, viewers out there, these goggles here from Bear & Gun for Hammerhands are starting at 20K bidding. Go. All right. We can do this. What are you vomiting? What is this about?
I'm trying to find the frog that vomits.
There's no frog in that picture. It's a juvenile. What are you? A bombarded beetle? Oh no! Oh no! What?
Whoa!
I didn't even see that. Like I blinked. It was over. I blinked and it was over.
88 minutes after swallowing it.
That's longer than your cats do. The beetle
Ew!
did.
And the beetle is still moving.
That's really messed up. That toad needs
That's
to check in.
probably why he threw it back up.
It needs to check that stomach acid, and your cats take 15 minutes to throw up after eating.
That was unreal.
Especially if they do it behind my chair.
That toad ate that beetle so fast. That was crazy. Okay, so
Have you ever seen me eat a Hot Pocket? It's not that fast, but close.
no, I have not. Okay, let's see. Let's see.
It looks like if you give Famous Dana a donut, it's going that quick. She likes donuts.
Let's see.
It's going quicker if I eat them, though. Because I swallow them whole.
So, National
we know
Parks...
better than to give Famous Dana donuts right now.
Yeah, it's true. Famous Dana's very good.
National Park Service PSA. Don't push your slower friends in front of bears.
What? No.
That was also for me.
Save your slower friends to push them in front of zombies.
Versus this underwater Italian ghost town could reappear on land next year.
Now, that one was put in there just for you.
So, if you want to hear about how the National Park Service advises that you not push your slower friends in front of bears, press number 1. And if you want to hear about article number 2, which is this underwater Italian ghost town that could reappear on land next year, press number 2. Number 1 is for pushing your friends in front of bears. Couple. Yes, it was really weird. And number 2 is for the Italian ghost town. Really? I want to hear about number 2.
I know you do. That's why it was put in there. I figured you'd just read it anyway.
Oh my gosh. I kind of want to read them all, to be honest. Like, there's so many crazy articles. And I still want to read the ROUS one, I'll be honest. I want to know how Texas is battling ROUSs.
So,
but that's not on the list. Number one for don't push your slower friends in front of bears. Number 2 for reappearing Italian ghost town.
And while this is going on, I'm
Yes.
going to gossip.
You're going to, what's the gossip?
This is another question, gossip.
What?
I heard that Famous Dana the Boggin taught the human chef Gordon Ramsay everything he knows about cooking, including how to yell and insult his sous chefs. Is this in fact true? This was sent in by Betsy the Bowler the Boggin.
We have 2 votes for 2 and 2 votes for 1.
I did teach something about complaints about how good or bad food is prepared, but there was no F words in any of it.
All right, so Gordon Ramsay did that on his own, then, yeah?
Yes.
Okay,
I think it's because of where he's from.
England? I don't.
He's from Scotland.
That's even worse.
How do you guys even know all of this?
They read his Wikipedia.
Why didn't the chicken cross the road?
Thomas Jefferson, sucker.
Because it
3
wasn't
votes
freaking
for
cooked
2.
yet.
And 2 votes for 1. Yeah.
Okay, so which one won?
Okay, Italian Ghost Town wins. We have 3 votes for 2 because Poppy came in at the end with a vote for 2.
Okay, I got a question.
Okay, what's your question?
Poppy
There
is a dangerous danger.
This one is for Count Morbid, apparently. It is, I heard Count Morbid is building a secret army to march on the Kingdom of Storm's castle and occupy it, or just squat in it. Is this true?
That sounds like a lot of work.
That's what he was going to say.
That sounds like a lot of effort.
That was attached to the bears, so I had to ask.
A lot of work.
Way more work than he wants to do. Okay, underwater Italian Ghost Town could reappear on land next year. This could mark the sunken village's first appearance in more than 25 years. A medieval ghost town may soon emerge from the bottom of a lake in Tuscany. Ah, Tuscany is so beautiful. According to news reports, it could be the first time that the ruined village has seen the light of day in more than 25 years. This Italian Atlantis is known as Fabrici de Caragini, a 12th century town that was once home to about 150 residents, 31 houses, and a stout stone church.
Is that the church right there? Or is that a house? Because it looks like your house.
This here is likely church-ish, or I mean, it's a small town, so 150 residents doesn't seem like it probably is big enough to have a full-on guard tower. But in Tuscany, there are a lot of churches that are built with towers like this, the steeples that go up with cool masonry and brickwork that's in them. So, I mean, assuming it was in this picture, and if I had to guess, I would think it's that square thing in the back.
I mean, you've been to Italy, I haven't.
What?
I said, you've been to Italy, I haven't.
Yes, and I've been to Tuscany in particular. So let's see. For hundreds of years, not that that's like saying I've been to the state of Washington, but
well, is most of Italy flooded? Because this looks like Venice at this point.
For hundreds of years, the small town was a haven for artisan blacksmiths, according to Italian news site La Repubblica. But in 1946, it met its end when Italian energy company Enel built a hydroelectric dam in the surrounding valley. The town's inhabitants were moved to a nearby village. Fabrici di Caragini was flooded, and the new artificial Lake Vagli was born. In the 75 years that Fabrici di Caragini has sat on the lake's bottom, curious visitors have had 4 chances to walk among its ancient water-weathered stones in 1958, 74, 83, and 94, when Lake Vagli was drained for dam maintenance, according to local tourism, and it may be drained again soon. According to CNN, Lorenza Gheorghi, daughter of the former mayor of the local municipality, recently posted on Facebook saying the lake would likely be drained again in 2021. The Enel Energy Company also told CNN that it was beginning to discuss potential lake draining with local municipalities, both as an opportunity to clean the Lake Vagli Reservoir and to boost tourism to the area. Well, it doesn't even say anything, though, about ghosts being in the town.
Did you meet a ghost while you were there?
Well, no, but it's like calling it a ghost town, but it's not actually a ghost town. It's not like a town that people were living in and then mystically disappeared from and nobody knows about it. It's like...
So if a town's abandoned, technically they decide to call it a ghost town, at least in the States. And
but this one wasn't even abandoned. Those people were purposefully moved out of their town so that they wouldn't be drowned underwater when the hydroelectric dam went in and created a lake over their town.
I mean, they did the same thing at Lake Mead in down by where Stormy the fairy lives, because they buried a Mormon town under Lake Mead.
Right, but that doesn't get a ghost town. A ghost town is like Roanoke, Where,
No,
where
if it's
But every other ghost town is just people left.
I mean, yeah. And if you're going through a town and it looks creepy, I think they call that ghostly. If you're even in a submarine singing Beatles songs going through the town, it looks kind of creepy looking at it underwater.
Is it a yellow submarine?
I was gonna ask the same thing.
That's right. He knows. See?
I mean, I agree that a town that people have left is a ghost town, but I guess I don't feel like the people left that town. They were purposefully relocated from it with intention. It's not as if.
So that causes a whole debate about, Indian reservations to me, and I don't want to have it right now.
Well, then don't bring it up and we won't have it.
I just did.
People taking their land because they're gonna make a lake out of it. It doesn't
See?
sound like very fun.
Famous Dana handled it for me. Thank you.
I'm just saying politics is probably not the thing. Okay.
It's Italy. Who knows what the politics are like?
They could have just become Tuscany mer people.
I mean, that could be a thing. We could actually have a bunch of mer people running around Tuscany. And singing faster than lightning, no one in the sea is quicker than he.
Okay. So here we go. Here are the two articles for this next round.
Round.
Yes. Space Force, Space Horse.
Okay, that's kind of funny. That sounds like an Ion article.
Space Force, Space Horse versus.
Is it going to be the emus? Because that's funny.
Yes,
too.
yes, it is going to be the emus. Australian pub forced to ban messy emus for bad behavior.
So again, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, so what?
Is there a question attached to that one too? Can you check?
A question attached to it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let me check. Hang on.
That
I don't know
article.
how to tell if a question is attached to it.
Okay, I'm looking. I can find it.
Okay, so
that article title assumes that there are non-messy emus.
I
so
heard.
if you want to hear about the Space Force, Space Horse, press number 1. And if you want to hear about the messy Australian emus, press number 2. Number 1, Space Horse, Space Force, Space Force, Space Horse. And number 2 for Australian emu.
I don't even know how I feel about any of this.
Let's see. We have one vote for one and 1, 2, 3, 2 votes for 1 and 3 votes for 2 so far. With still we have about half the time left into the sand timer. Okay, what is this gossip you have? Let's hear it.
First off, I want people to quit gossiping about Count Morbid because he just doesn't have the effort for it. However, apparently, according to this, I heard Count Morbid got tired of taking Nip from Will-O-Wisp and threw her in the dungeon, which is why she hasn't been on the show in months. And this was sent in by Warden Big Mouth, the Red Cap.
No comment.
The timer has run down.
He did smile when you mentioned the word dungeon, so there is that.
Next rumor. Let's skip that one. Just skip.
Very well. Very, very well. Which one do we want?
Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3 votes for number 1, and we have 1, 2, 3 votes for. It looks like 3 votes for 1 and 1, 2 votes for 2. So number 1 is the Space Force Space Horse. Here we go.
That's a thing.
I don't even know what this is about. It's crazy. Okay, here we go. U.S. Space Force hires a horse to boldly go where rockets can't. What? The beach. And I am sure that rockets can crash on the beach just fine. The United States Space Force has a new recruit in their mission to keep planet Earth safe. His name is Ghost, and he likes to go clip-clop on the beach. Ghost, a 5-year-old Mustang, is the newest addition in the Conservation Military Working Horse Program, which the Space Force recently inherited from the U.S. Air Force. According to a video tweeted by the Space Force, Ghost just joined a stable of 4 military working horses at Vandenberg Air Force Base, a 99,600 acre chunk of land on the California coast. That's roughly 100 times the size of Central Park in New York. Let's just get this out of the way. No, Ghost is not going into space. Well, end of article. Nobody cares anymore. No. Horses are notoriously bad at operating computers, and NASA has had enough trouble sizing their spacesuits for bipeds lately. Nor is Ghost being trained for combat, despite cool cool military credentials. So how does Ghost spend his workdays, if not dreaming of the stars or distant shores? According to Staff Sergeant Michael Terrazas, manager of the military working horse program. Man, can they just have an acronym for that or something? Because it's so long. And one of Ghost's handlers. Ghost is sort of a quadrupedal conservation cop.
What? What does that even mean?
He's a 4-legged conservation cop.
Is he going to arrest me?
I don't know.
I've almost been arrested before, but I just want to know.
And his equine colleagues help the human members of the working horse program traverse the vast hills and beaches of Vandenberg, keeping an eye on the area's many protected species and intruders that might pose a threat to them. They enforce fish and game laws.
Really? So if you're fishing without a license, they throw you in jail?
They clippity-clop along the way to do so, yes.
I'm done with this article.
Let's move on to the next one. That was a horrible. Thank you guys for voting badly.
If you are fishing on the beach, are you catching asteroids?
You're fishing on the beach. You're not catching much of anything because you're on the beach.
Why would you be on the Space Force then, unless you were fishing for asteroids?
Because you're on the Space Force.
It's because the Space Force is sharing that base with the Air Force,
which is terrible. That the Space Force is Department of the Air Force, which used to be Department of the Army, which tells you everything you need to know about everything.
Okay, fine. Here we go. We're gonna do the Australian emus.
The Australian emus with hair.
I'm just concerned that the messy might be an excessive adjective.
I think ghosts would scare the emus off the beach.
So you're telling me we didn't put a ghost town in front of the emus?
In Tuscany, yeah.
I mean, I'm in.
Australian pub forced to ban messy emus for bad behavior. Things took an intolerable turn last week when 2 of the birds, Carol and Kevin, discovered they could climb the front stairs of the Uraka Hotel.
Okay, hold on. Stop right there. First off, a pub is forced to ban emus. Carry on.
I love it. I love that the birds have names. Carol and Kevin, the 2 emus.
At a pub that forced them to be banned.
An emu named Carol, 3 years old and raised from an egg, walks around behind a fence. An Australian outback pub has banned 2 emus, Carol and another, for bad behavior after they learned to climb the stairs and created havoc inside. Let's see. Locals and tourists have been amused by the antics of the emus, eager to steal food from people in Uraka, a remote Queensland state outpost with a permanent population of 18. But things took an intolerable turn last week when 2 of the birds, Carol and Kevin, discovered they could climb the front stairs of the Uraka Hotel. The only pub, publican Chris Gimblett said, the only pub. Publican. What does that mean? Publican Chris Gambit said Tuesday. Oh, what?
I don't know. It sounds very political. I don't like it.
Let's see. They're learned to walk up the front steps of the hotel, which has been causing just a few issues, especially with the amount of their waste, he said. Gimblett solved the problem by stringing a rope across the top of the stairs. A sign advises customers to replace the rope once they enter because emus have been banned from this establishment for bad behavior. The inquisitive emus are not yet clever enough to duck under the rope to get in the pub. While Australian pubs occasionally have a parrot in the bar, emus are not indoor birds. Well, they are if they're inside of your pub.
Yeah.
Really?
Not
There's
anymore.
nothing
They're
behind
bad.
them, apparently, yeah.
Okay. The word publican is British for some who owns or manages a pub.
Interesting. We have learned new vocabulary today. Well, I have. Well, Australian pubs, no, wait. When emus get a fright, they head in a forward direction, but are normally looking behind, so they can't see where they're going. And this is where chaos can happen. So they run away, but they look behind themselves like this.
I've seen this thing. Yeah, it's like, I'm going to bump into the guy in front of me, knock everything over. What? No, man, I'm going to trip over everything, and it's over, and it's, it's a thing. That's what it's like when I go out for a Sunday jog, by the way.
Seems like such a horribly bad idea, emus. Why do you not look forward? How did you guys survive and evolve? If you've got a mug of coffee on a little table by the door, they will drink all the coffee without spilling it, I might add. You just discover that they're just eating machines. There used to be 8 emus. Sorry, go ahead. Say what you're trying to say.
I'm just trying to say that there is something in common with Fairy Princess Lolly and the emu. If you give them coffee, well, it's over.
We will drink it. It is true.
They'll without spilling a drop. Or otherwise she'll be off with the head.
A resident rescued eggs from an abandoned nest in 2018 and hatched them with the help of an electric blanket. All except Carol and Kevin have moved on, apparently in search of mates.
I feel like that we need to get emus to get an electric blanket with eggs.
You know, it is a small town when emus are half the population.
So my thought is, since we're looking for Dreamhaven, is to find it in a small town. What do you do?
Hey, I confess, I do like the idea of just like buying up a whole town or something that is long since abandoned.
Like, I would take Famous aside and populate it with emus just to make them act.
They would never wear the hats properly.
We'd have to show them, Famous Dana.
They would need little chin straps.
Like little chin straps and chef's hats. And then we can just confuse them for Bogans. Like, if
they do eat efficiently.
And if Fairy Princess Lolly is reading and we tell her that they're there, she just won't acknowledge them as anything but people because they have hats on.
You know, those emus won't climb into her lap, though, while she's trying to read.
Hats are what confuse me the most. If you put a hat on, you're obviously a person.
If like I said, now let's put it into perspective. You do read quite deeply sometimes, and that's when you get confused.
But I've never confused something for a person because it was wearing a hat.
If you're reading, you would.
If I was...
What if it was several things in a coat?
Like
several things in a coat?
Then she would acknowledge it as hang on. Then she would acknowledge it as unusual Gunther styles and let it go.
Several things stacked on top of each other
in
a coat. And, oh my gosh, it must be a person.
Like, if you're told that by your people and you don't actually look, that's a thing.
I mean, you must be right. I don't even know how I could possibly not fall for that trick.
Well, the funny thing is that after that happened, she'd look at us and go, "Why is our town filled with emus with hats on?" And then we would be like, "We told you already." Because we did it. And she'd be like, "But I thought they were people."
Well, it'd be because we raised them from eggs and they stuck around because they want to eat all of our food. But, we could erect a giant statue of an emu in the center of town and put a jacket on it.
Can you ride an emu?
Yes. It's just not very comfortable.
But would they have boring names like Kevin and Carol?
Not if
they have more interesting names.
You should be in charge of naming then, Ion. That way you could be on board with me and Famous Dana to make the emu fall. behind Fairy Princess Loli's knowledge.
I'm just saying they should have more interesting names than
Yeah,
Kevin.
like half-wing featherneck.
Or Elon Musk. You gotta admit, that guy has a very interesting name. Who would name the kid Elon Musk other than a Scientologist?
If I had a muskrat, I would name it Elon.
It's a much better name for a ferret. Yeah, that kind of animal, not an emu.
Okay, fair enough. A ferret.
But you know what? Imagine the size of the omelets we could have.
That sounds very. Okay, so I have a question about omelets and eggs. Do all eggs taste the same coming from pheasants, or is the chicken just very specific and dumb, and that's why we go after it?
A pheasant is also a specific type of bird.
Okay, so fair enough. Fine. A chicken.
You mean fowl?
Fowl. I guess. I don't know. I don't know birds. I'm trying.
No, I don't. They don't all taste the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not all birds' eggs taste the same. No.
Is some more salty than others, or how does that work out?
Okay, imagine the difference between having beef from a cow and having venison from a deer. That slight taste difference that you have that's more wild.
First off, cows have fat. Deers have I can't remember what it's called. They don't have fat, and so it's completely different.
There's a flavor difference in the meat, though. It's when you're cooking it in a stew, it's very similar, but there's definitely different bits of flavor there. I've found venison to be more dense than.
It's much more strong. They're much more agile. They don't have fat. They have something else.
Gunther, I happen to know that you've eaten both chicken and goose.
Do they
taste the same?
So goose does not taste like chicken, but chicken does in fact taste like goose.
What?
He's being obnoxious. What happened to all of your cool lights, Gunther? Why are you totally in the dark? Hey!
Okay,
But you had like really cool lights that were behind you.
Right. I do. They're still there. I just gotta get this. So like, see, check it out. It's like the cool lights that are behind you. Look at the cool lights behind you.
I know.
You therapist. Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. They were installed by Gunther Hammerhand to make Fairy Princess Loli smile a little bit more.
Well, so I want to do one more article before we leave off for tonight.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so there are so many articles, so I think we might have to do the vote between a 1, 2, and a 3. I'm not entirely sure here.
Do the thing.
Because I seriously, like the ROUSs, Texas is now battling an infestation of ROUS swamp rats. So I want to
bring that one back in.
I do want to bring that one back in, but also there are some other ones that I find pretty much that sound kind of equally hilarious.
So why don't you do this? Why don't you put the vote between
why don't you just let me talk? Okay, so
number
1, RUSs. Number 2, doctors remove a mobile phone charger from a man's bladder. What? Yeah. So number 2 will be the mobile phone charger in the man's bladder. Because how does that even happen? Let's see. And number 3, let's see. There was another one that was on here that looked kind of interesting.
Again, I say that you should still read the ROUS at that very end and just put the vote between whatever is left right now.
Oh, okay. How about this? So it is either the man's bladder, the cell phone in the man's bladder versus Safari Park baboons, knives, chainsaw.
That is an amazing title.
That wasn't even a sentence.
Knives is a verb. The baboon knifed a chainsaw.
Okay, so knifing actually is a verb, that is used in the urban area, it means to shank somebody or to stab somebody.
I think knifing is more of a common word than
I have-
shanking.
It might be, and I have used it, and I've threatened to knife people before, and they stare at me like I'm crazy. Probably because I'm trying to stab them.
I'm sure.
Why are you talking about this? What are you
Well,
talking about? This is bad. No.
It
A
was in
baboon is
defense
not allowed to have a knife?
It was in defense of the kingdom.
Baboons carrying knives and chainsaws spotted in Safari Park. That is going to be article number 1 versus the man with a the man with a phone charger up his bladder.
How do you get a phone charger in your freaking bladder, man?
Keep up. Keep up.
I'm just
So,
saying.
number 1 is baboons with not carrying knives and chainsaws. Number 2 is a man with a phone charger in his bladder.
So I'm just going to say this for future reference. Nobody give baboons chainsaws. Nobody. Yeah, don't do that. That's gross.
Nobody give a man a phone charger?
Can you please start the timer?
Yeah. Timer, bladder.
Okay, so we have 1 vote for number 2. And quite frankly, I kind of want to hear about the man with, it's very Monty Python, right? Like a man with a phone charger in his bladder, a man with a phone charger in his brother's bladder. Like,
Prediction: it got left behind in surgery.
what? It got
weird.
left behind in surgery? You mean like you think that they went and did surgery on him for something else and accidentally left a phone charger in his bladder?
So what
That
happened was,
is my guess. It's my prediction.
so what happened was the guy was sitting on his phone, needed to get a bit of a charge, was only at 12%. You know how it gets. It starts warning you at 15. At 12, you start panicking, and then it just got left in after surgery. I've seen a guy get scissors left in him after surgery.
So Dark Maryland says they aren't sure what Monty Python I've been watching. I'm telling you, just go look up a man with a tape recorder up his nose. A man
Did
with
the guy
3
try to
buttocks.
plug it in?
And
in the
now
wrong
for
spot?
something completely different.
Life
a
of
man
Brian.
with a phone charger in his bladder.
Let's all look at the bright side of life.
I think 2 is 1.
I think 2 has won. Wait a minute. I'm confused now. Counting was ruled out. We're not supposed to use numbers tonight. I'm so confused. Is 2 1 or what?
So the count is supposed to count, and the count is not counting. So count.
Article number 2 involving bladders has been victorious in the poll.
The count picked 3 for himself.
Of course he did.
He goes, here's the thing. Okay, so 2 it is. Carry on.
All right. Doctors remove mobile phone charger from a man's bladder. Here we go.
I cannot get over that. I cannot get over that.
What in the what?
So before you continue reading, I got to blame this on Ivy again, even though she voted for number 2. This is all her fault.
So doctor have removed. Okay, so is that like a typo in word 1? Doctor have removed a 2-foot phone charger from inside a man's bladder. The patient, who was 30, went to the doctors after complaining of abdominal pain last week. It is unclear how the lead came to get in his bladder. Doctors believe it was swallowed or inserted for sexual gratification. The man said to have a history of accidental ingestion of headphones.
What? How do you actually? No, you don't accidentally get headphones in you.
So many times that he has a history of it.
We've all been there.
No, we have not all been there. I distinctly have not been there.
Do the headphones have a microphone on them? Because it makes a little bit more sense if they do.
What kind of headphones were they? Were they Skull Candy? What? Sony's? Come on now.
What if he's just trying to listen to music, but he wants it to be quiet in the crowded room season? So
he swallows his headphones.
So only he hears it. Yeah.
That's very embryonic.
Let's see. Can be seen with the curled lead inside his bladder in X-ray scans.
No.
He was given a 2-day course of laxatives. Oh my gosh.
So laxatives work on
Every
his
part
back.
of this article just gets worse. Like imagining it coming out. What? It's
I
sort
don't
of
want
like
to. I don't like it.
I'm sorry, but I didn't think the bladder was quite associated with the intestines, and I thought laxatives worked on the intestines, not on the
Why?
bladder.
I was like laxative. What are you gonna do with a laxative in the bladder?
It's all
a
gonna relax.
61 centimeter lead. Let's see.
Oh,
So anyway, they
no.
gave him some laxatives to alleviate the stomach pain before the doctors performed a small incision in his gastrointestinal tract. The doctors then discovered a 61 centimeter lead and decided to perform surgery to move it. Now, just so happens that
Then a
I
doctor-
have this sitting right here. This is a complete and utter fluke. But 61 centimeters, and we're just gonna look on here.
About 2 feet.
I feel like the doctor
just so you guys
would say, what the expletive deleted is going on here where this guy had this stuck in his bladder.
This is half the length of what was in his bladder. Like, if you were to, like,
That's
here,
a foot, yeah.
yeah, like a foot is like 30 centimeters. So here
So,
and
no,
like
this
keep
is a foot. This is
going.
a foot right here, and it's half of its size at least. Okay. Yeah.
That is so crazy. Okay, so here we go. Ugh,
Yeah.
weird.
So we're getting asked if this is a pre-surgical procedure, maybe, and Ivy is saying that they needed an adult.
It wasn't clear how it came to be there. I mean, it's like this guy didn't know how he got it into it. 5 medics performed a 45-minute surgery to remove the lead at Guwahati Hospital in India last Sunday.
This happened in India?
A doctor who admitted he had not seen anything of the sort in his 25-year career said, "We gave him a laxative for 2 days as we did not want to do surgery immediately. The patient's stool was examined, but nothing came out. We decided to do a small incision and check the gastrointestinal tract. He might have been uncomfortable while telling us the truth, which led to searching in the gastrointestinal." So he basically was just like, "Oh, my stomach hurts, but I don't know why." And they do an X-ray, and they're like, "Sir, why is there this huge long headphones wire or cell phone charging wire in your stomach?" I don't know how that got there. No idea. Yes.
Right, because it wasn't in his stomach.
Because it was in his bladder.
Body.
That's
Right.
still
So he probably had an itch.
That's still a reach, man. Like, I don't even know how this guy would know that it was in his bladder, or explain that to the doctors. They're the experts, aren't they? Yeah. No.
Spent 3 days recovering in the hospital before he was released to go home. There's just no way. He's a big liar pants and just didn't want to tell the doctors how he got that up in his bladder.
Yeah, they were saying that he probably just didn't want to tell us the truth.
I mean, I'm with you.
The thing is that how could he get it into his bladder in any other way other than through his mouth?
Like a catheter. It doesn't go through that way.
I mean, it should, because that's how you get
with things like a catheter does. The other way up in.
There's some weird stuff happening in India.
I don't really know how that thing works that you're talking about. So, wow. I'm sorry.
Weird things happening in India, just right off there.
I mean,
a catheter goes in the exit and goes to your bladder and drains it. And but
the thing is that the end wasn't left hanging out. So how did the end get all the way up in there is the question.
It looked a bit like the ends were cut off.
Yeah, it did look like weird wires, didn't it?
And now Mr. Conway Twitty.
Which makes me think that there might have been a prolonged use involved.
Dude,
involving hooking up to things. I'm just.
Come on, friend. You're better than that, Ion. You're better than that.
Just
Rather than that, Ion, step away. You don't need to be part of this conversation.
Hey, how dare you? I do not think that Ion is better than that.
He is running illegal duck races, I hear.
I mean, where do you hide all the gold?
we have no idea if they're illegal.
So somebody get Fairy Princess Lottie a cough drop. I think she. I got her drink. That's good enough. Is that good enough? That drink there?
You need a
I'm
lozenge?
fresh out of lozenges, so I'll have to. Make
No, yep, we're out of cone lozenges.
I wanted to get a hold of a lozenge. It may end up in your bladder at this rate. I don't want to go there, but I'm just saying.
That's my good new water, the grapefruit one with the hibiscus.
Can I request that we learn about ROUS now?
So out of the suggestion,
I don't want to end on that note.
so I will put for the council that we move on because, ow.
Yes. Okay. Last article, and this is what we will end on. So it better be good.
So ROUS is in Texas.
I mean, at least the picture is cute, right? Oh my God! What? Those are not rats.
Those are all mutant splinters or raccoons or possums, maybe.
Okay, so Texas is now battling an infestation of ROUS, aka swamp rats. I mean, okay, so here's the Princess Bride ROUS, but look at the size of that compared to say that tree that's right there. If it's that real, no
Nutria,
way.
or whatever they're called.
Nutria?
Giant swamp rats are appearing in Krause Baker Park in Texas, and residents of the area fear they may contaminate the water and destroy the ecosystem.
Okay.
They are massive in size and are apparently feeding alongside the ducks. One video posted shows exactly how invasive they have been.
This tells me Ion's involved with his illegal duck races.
Yeah, it's just all about the day-to-day rat race,
Oh
You
my
know,
gosh.
and he was in Texas at one point, I hear.
I don't even know if I think they're cute or not. I mean, it's like I do, but also
I don't,
huge
yeah.
swamp rats. But they're just like, doop, 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 doop. We're just out here eating, hanging
All the
out with
duck
some
food.
ducks. Yeah. The problem now is that they are looking for funding to deal with the issue. California and Louisiana are already calling for millions from the U.S. government in order to deal with their own swamp rat populations. Female nutria can have babies starting from the age of 4 to 6 months old, and they can produce up to 3 litters each year. Each litter can have anywhere from 12 to 13. Woof.
So we established that swamp rats are actually called nutria. Is that correct?
I guess so. That's what it seems to be indicating. And then it says they eat up to 25% of their body weight every day. Since they are alongside a water source, they are fearing that they will contaminate it with parasites. They are asking the community to not feed them. Wow.
So don't feed the nutria and don't get lice.
I think they named Nutria as kind of a cool name.
It is kind of cool, yeah.
Let's see.
But it's deceptive. It's like nutritious nutria, and you don't want to eat the rest.
Can we see that video again?
Yes. This is can you see what I'm? I put this here because I wanted to see images of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Here they are. They are awful cute, aren't they? Aw. They are. Look at them. They are. They're really ROUSs. They're so adorable.
And they're all unusual sized.
There was a vendor at Canterbury last year who had nutria pelts that you were giving away because no one wanted to purchase any of them.
Because they're
kind of
rodents.
Ratty.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you how many that I acquired that day.
All right, you guys. It is 9:23, and we're ending on the we're ending on the ROUSs because we have to somehow clear our brains of other images. So thank you all for joining us. Today's Wednesday. Yes. So we should be back on Friday with author reads from 2 to 3 p.m. Pacific. And and then we will also be back on Sunday with handmade home shopping for you and new lineup of vendors. So please go ahead and join us for either or both of those. Hit the like and subscribe button and share with your friends. Also, please remember, if you would like to be entered to win for the seashell and pearl necklace, as soon as the show ends, leave in the comments on YouTube, leave the word Apple, and you will be entered to win. If you are one of our Patreon patrons, you get an automatic entry, and we will, of course, do that drawing on next week's FAE News. So until then, that we shall see you guys on Friday, and have a good night, everybody. Food for us. Bye-bye.
So long, and thanks for all the nutria.
No, thanks for all the Nessies. Thanks for all the catfish.
Best
All the
rat
catfish.
burger ever.
Yeah.